जाना है वहाँ हमको, जहाँ बाप और दादा है वो, जाना है वहाँ हमको, जहाँ बाप और दादा है, बनना है संपूर्ण हो, किया बाबा से वादा है, जो बाबा से किया था वो वादा निभाएंगे। हम उड़ के चले जाएं, ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं, उस प्यारे से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में। ये देह न याद आए, देहधारी न याद आए हो, ये देह न याद आए, देहधारी न याद आए, ये पतित पुरानी सी हो, दुनिया भी न याद आए, याद आए तो बस अपना वो वतन ही याद आए। हम उड़ के चले जाएं, ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं, उस प्यारे से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में। वतन में है ठहरे हुए बाबा हमारे लिए हो वतन में है ठहरे हुए बाबा हमारे लिए कर रहे हैं इंतजार घर ले जाने के लिए आकारी बन करके हम वतन में जाएंगे हम उड़ के चले जाएं ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यारे से वतन में उस प्यारे से वतन में उस मीठे से वतन में हो अव्यक्त वतन में हो हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यारे से वतन में हो उस मीठे से वतन में
वो जगह बड़ी ही शांत है तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है
वो जगह बड़ी ही शांत है तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है
वो जगह बड़ी ही शांत है तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है
वहाँ खुशबू चारों ओर तेरी और चमक बड़ी ही निराली है
वहाँ खुशबू चारों ओर तेरी और चमक बड़ी ही निराली है
संकल्पों का वहाँ बोध नहीं हर मन अंदर से खाली है
हर मन अंदर से खाली है हर मन अंदर से खाली है शब्दों में ना वृतांत है तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है
तेरा मुल्क
जगह बड़ी ही शांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है। तेरी दुनिया सदा बहार है, रूहों का गजब संसार है।
तेरी दुनिया सदा बहार है, रूहों का गजब संसार है।
उस जैसा कोई लोक नहीं, रहता तू जहाँ निराकार है।
रहता तू जहाँ निराकार है।
रहता तू जहाँ निराकार है। इस जग में वो दृष्टांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है।
वो जगह बड़ी ही शांत है,
तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है।
है सबसे खूब वो तेरा वतन, हम भी तो उसके बाशिंदे हैं।
है सबसे खूब वो तेरा वतन, हम भी तो उसके वाशिंदे हैं।
जाना है उड़ के हमको वहाँ, कहते ये रूहानी परिंदे हैं।
कहते ये रूहानी परिंदे हैं, कहते ये रूहानी परिंदे हैं।
नहीं उसकी कोई सीमांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है।
वो जगह बड़ी ही शांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है, तेरा मुल्क तेरा प्रांत है।
Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Happy Sadguruvar to everyone. And we offer bhog to Baba on this special Thursday, Sadguruvar, and we'll be listening from Mohini Didi. And just few more hours to go, and then we are entering into January 1st, 2021. And here we are starting our new series, new chart, new homework, Raazyukt. January 1st, willpower. Now we'll be listening from Mohini Didi.
I give love remembrances of everyone to Baba and then offered bhog. And Baba, with lot of love, accepted bhog. And then Baba, with lot of love, was sharing drishti with each one of us. And each one of us through drishti were communicating, saying something to Baba. And Baba was also talking personally with each one, because it is through drishti that Baba communicates, because Baba's language is language of silence. So everything works through drishti. Then I also shared drishti with Baba, and I felt like how Baba not only loves us, but was giving lot of assurance of that everything is good and will be better and better. And then Baba said that children making lot of efforts. I said, Baba, everyone is thinking they have to reach to the final stage of perfection. So Baba said, yes, time also is giving signal to all of you to be prepared. One is for your own final and perfect stage, but also you have to serve from that stage. So I was looking at Baba, what way we will serve. Baba said, actually, when you have that stage, even some percent might be less, but then whatever you think, whatever you speak, and actions you do, Baba says it touches, it reaches many, many, many souls. So Baba says every thought you have, it reaches many souls. So I said, Baba, even if we don't do like we say, we have to do Mansa Seva. Baba said, whatever Mansa you have, it's serving. So it's not like you have to say, okay, now let me do Mansa Seva. No. Always remember that your every thought is serving. So I said, Baba, that means we have to be very attentive. Baba said, because you children are the roots of the tree. So whatever are your thoughts will reach whole tree. So Baba said that it's really not just question of feeling that I am responsible, because when you think that way, you might become heavy. So I have to, my every thought is reaching world. But Baba said, actually, every thought reaches world. So Baba said, that is why you are a constant server. It's only by paying little attention, mm, your thought, every thought will be elevated, full of good wishes, pure feelings. And that's what everyone needs these days, all the souls. They all want to experience the feelings, pure feelings, and good wishes. So Baba said, naturally, you all do that. But Baba said, once in a while, you get caught up in your own little situations or sanskars. But now always remember that I am an unlimited world server. I am unlimited world server. So as soon as you will find that your thoughts are going into direction which is not necessary, you will immediately remove it and remind yourself that I am unlimited world server. Because every child in the heart has this thought, I want to serve the world. And Baba said, you are at the world service. It's not what is the other way. You sow the seed through your thoughts. And then, of course, from there, whatever you speak and action you perform, it benefits the whole world. Every action of yours benefits the whole world. Every word you speak is benefiting the whole world. So today Baba was saying that this is how you are all unlimited world service. And then after a few moments, I said, Baba, in our world, Lokic world, physical world, we are ending 2020, starting new year. Baba says, in certain regions, there is no new year, no old year. But Baba knows that children are preparing to end the old and to start the new. So Baba wants to give congratulations because children were very brave, very stable, and aim was to be consistent. So children did very well also in this year. And next year, yes, you all will be better. You will think new, think different. And Baba is giving all good wishes and use all the blessings. Baba says you have full treasure of blessings with you, which you all know. But now is the time to think based on those blessings. Speak and share those blessings and use those blessings for the success of each action which you do. So Baba said that not only new year, but now you are moving towards new age also. So Baba gave lots of good wishes, and you are, Baba said, stars of success. You will always be successful. Just question of creating the awareness that I am a successful star and you will be successful. Baba gave lots of love remembrances, and there was hope for many, but especially the youth group who had been doing 108 hours of yoga bhatti, especially sent Baba love and offered bhog. So Baba said that Baba always loved the young ones because Baba knows that young ones will glorify Babdada's name, reveal Babdada's name. So Baba was giving drishti to the youth group and then gave lots of love remembrances to all of you. Month of January is always very, very important for all of us because lot of love, lot of gratitude emerges for Brahma Baba, one who became instrument first to create a unlimited spiritual family because family is very, very important in life. And then Baba also arranged for us for studies. So he started university. And also for us to be able to use everything in worthwhile way. Baba created this big yagya so that we are sustained and world also is served through this yagya. Now we are on journey with Brahma Baba. When I'm saying with is that when I think that is Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba gives us knowledge. But when we hear from Brahma Baba through his mouth the knowledge, the directions, so the way Brahma Baba began his journey and whatever way he spiritually continued on this journey and then finally reached to his stage of perfection. So when Baba says follow father, why should I follow father? Because the aim which was given to Brahma Baba is to become Bap Saman. That means he had to be like Shiv Baba, have all the qualities and all the powers and carry on the task. And all of us got inspired and we thought that we also want to be on this journey. So for me, I will follow Baba and I always keep Baba in front as father and guide because I have to inherit from father. But then also he's my guide. Even will say, yes, Shiv Baba is supreme guide, but when I have to follow in this physical life, then I have to look at Brahma Baba. And then if I follow the footsteps, I will never be lost. Otherwise, there could be stumbling, I could lose, I could get discouraged and not sure if I will make it, I will become perfect or angel. But as soon as I look at Brahma Baba, I just become so light. And I said, yes, he did reach his destination. And I will also reach destination. Oh, he did that he became an angel, I will also become angels. That is why for month of January, we are talking about the footsteps. I have to put my foot into those footsteps and make my journey very easy with this assurance that I will also become angel like Brahma Baba. I will also be serving like Brahma Baba. Shiv Brahma Baba became instrument And he always reminded us of Shiv Baba. He never expected that we are meeting Brahma Baba. No. He say, you have come to meet Shiv Baba. So one of the important aspect is to see, is to check, and then whatever way I can make it, he is still with us. The first very important aspect in his life was recognition of God. I sometimes really wonder that how he exactly recognized that he's God and this is the message and he wants to use him as instrument, and he gave direction how when a small family was created to surrender everything, use it in worthwhile way for the task of establishment. It was so clear for him. And as soon as that recognition and clarity about the message was understood, Baba instantly, one of that important quality is Baba's willpower. Now, will actually could be your wish, your desire. When we say, I will do it, but then will also is the inheritance. Right? So when I think of how on January 18th, when Baba said to Dari Prakashmani, hold her hand, Baba has willed all the powers to you. So first Brahma Baba was willed all the powers from Shiva Baba. So when we talk of willpower, I was thinking that have I received the will of all the powers? And based on that, I have willpower. Or what kind of willpower Brahma Baba had and what kind of willpower I have. I think we all have that willpower because each one of us, when we think that that renunciation or determination to be on this spiritual path, this thought came and we decided to do it, it must be willpower from Baba. But to follow footstep here is that Baba, whatever he had, he became a trustee and then formed a trust of 8 sisters, and he was not part of that trust. So that means there was never in his awareness and even in words, I never heard I and mine. Baba never said, I surrendered everything. I created all this for Yagya. Baba will say, like Shiv Baba is saying, Baba, that means there's Brahma, he became trustee. He renounced, not renounced, but actually he used everything in worthwhile way. And I think many people, they help become cooperative through their mind, body, wealth. but very subtly. mm, And even worse, I and mine will come. So, our point, I feel, in following and checking is that I see how many times I word comes and mine. And it's amazing kind of, elevated awareness where you never think. Mhm. Even whatever way the yagya things were taken care of. Even sometimes, Baba's many good children will say, my time is being wasted. Why my time so? One time Dadi Janki called us, what you mean my time? Every time they say, why my this energy is going, my this when I don't want to waste my. So I is constantly there and doesn't allow us to accumulate power. So I had, since I became more aware, I had been thinking that truly how much I comes in our I and mine, so much. Mm. Even internally, I have surrendered everything. I belong to Baba, but still this I there with Brahma Baba. It's really interesting, isn't it? I went so many times in 11 years. I was I mean, I used to go to Madhuban or he will come to Delhi, but I never heard or could feel that Baba feels this is my yagya. Oh, I am the one who created this yagya. Mhm. So he became such an instrument incognito that he never accepted any praise, never thought what he had and he has given. It was lot, many buildings and whole family in a way, because then they all became a lokik. But this awareness of I. So he was able to sustain his willpower because there was no I and mine. So he was able to keep that power. Never for anything he turned back. Always every step forward. We go little further, then come back, go back. But with him, never, even for few moments, he lost courage or enthusiasm. It's remarkable. For so many years, constantly moving forward and be on journey of remembrance. And I think this of not having I and mine, this I think his power kept his willpower, strength to be consistent, whether for the self or for service. We will explore this more, but this is the first step, as said, willpower. And I think then you get in your will from Baba the power. One is my willpower, one is will which you get from Baba. No? No, parents always will know what which children will get what. So it's a very subtle aspect which we will reflect and also become aware that how much I and my is still there. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, dearest Mohini Didi and the whole Raazyukt Parivar family. All the best wishes for the new year already. And on this question of the will, I think what we wanted to do also with you, Mohini Didi, is to explore the aspect of the sanskara and not just the quality. We have been told many times how Brahma Baba had incredible qualities. We saw what he did. I mean, we heard how he did it. But my role will be to represent a little bit all of us who really want now to do it fully, properly. Because if we are not karmatit yet, and if we are not Bapsaman yet, it's because we have tried, but we're still not reaching the stage we want to reach. And when I look at Brahma Baba's life, and when I look at the Daddy's life, and when I look at your life, then I look at my life, and I see there is a difference. So we want you to help us, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feel that there is still a gap between what we heard from Brahma Baba's life and our life. As you know, I'm still working full time. I have great connection with my Lucky family. I have friends. And in a way, sometimes I have to admit, I like the world a little bit. I still feel there's beauty in visiting beautiful beaches and ocean. I like playing tennis. So help me, Mohini Didi, to become like Brahma Baba. So we want to look in these series for the whole month of January. We want to take your help to really see how we can change our own sanskaras. We can practice seeing and checking if there is I and my, but where does it come from really? And I'd like to see with you if we can look at Brahma Baba's example, but also your example, and see how you can help us so we can bring it into our life. First, if I look at Brahma Baba's life, can you tell us a little bit what you heard of Brahma Baba before Baba came in 1936? What did he have to really will? We feel that sometimes Brahma Baba was already almost perfect. He was an example in the society before Shiv Baba came. So when we say we saw the three words, surrendering or will in one stroke, that he completely will everything in one stroke, his ability to surrender and to be without any desires. From where did he come from? We know he had wealth, he had a family, but in his inner spiritual journey, what did he have to will, to abandon, or to surrender? What did you hear about his life before Baba came, and how he willed that to Shiv Baba? And I'm making effort to speak slowly. It's a new language. It's the language now of Zoom called translatable English.
Yeah, you're doing well. I think that inner seeking and some kind of calling, and for inner seeking, this internal dialogue between what one is doing at time, like he was in business and in family, but also very deep seeking where internally he was at internal reflection or conversation between his mind and intellect. And he was seeing that how mind was governing and intellect was taking in different directions. And so I think internally he was seeking that truth, eternal truth. And as you mentioned, he already had good, character, or he was charitable and very kind person, and good life that way also. But this seeking, I think he was being prepared to be instrument for Baba, because Shiv Baba won't suddenly enter in him when he even won't know what's going on, which he did feel for a while. So, as I mentioned, but one amazing thing is that the recognition of God and then the visions he had of Vishnu and then Tattvam, you will become that. Sometimes I practically say, okay, if I have that vision, will I just accept it? And I think one does, because I also had this feeling from within all the time of divinity, and is something divine within me, and I want to live this life of divinity. And then the seeking begins, a lot of struggle even before you really finally decide about, that yes, I am becoming one who also is bestower. You know, I always believe that God never takes, no, but He takes to multiply it and give you as your fortune. And I don't think that was the thought in Brahma Baba's mind. But this whole recognition of that I will be instrument for task of establishment of new world, will for the whole change of the world. So as soon as he understood that, maybe understood word is common, but he just, received that and he accepted that, and then he decided that he will, you know, completely surrender. And then he told his family, he told his partner, whatever you want, you take. He told family, how many of you want to come on, want to be with me on journey, and how many of you want your Lokik life. He gave them choice. And as I said, never turn back and say, I shouldn't have done this, or this is not right. So I think we have to figure out what was his root sanskar.
What about yours? What was your? You remember a time when you had to make a decision, a time that you voluntarily decided to surrender? I've been in Madhuban many times, and we saw surrender ceremonies. Did you do that ceremony as well yourself, or was there a time when you felt that's it, no more makeup, no more outing, no more nothing in the world, and I'm going to be now in one stroke surrendering to God?
I think never had much attraction, in the sense, once when your spirituality and divinity merges, you don't feel like doing anything which is Lokik. Even with the family, I'm the youngest child, was very loved, but as soon as I understood that there's something unlimited, this is limited. If I stay limited, unlimited cannot come. but limited will be covered in unlimited. So it helps me to be detached from the family. And then you first start forming that very beautiful way of transforming locking into spiritual relationships. And you find that there's a lot of love, but there is no sorrow, there is no attachment. So actually, it was very, very natural, very easy for me. I was mentioning to someone that within last 2, 3 years, I lost two sisters and one brother. And honestly, when I myself was surprised when I heard the news of my lucky older brother. In the morning at 4, they were calling me. I didn't had a single thought. I just thought he became angel now. So I will have another angel. For all the sisters, they're still taking care of me in angelic form. So I think that when there is this feeling you're not losing, you're in a higher form, they still will be with you. So it becomes, at least for me, I find that deep within I knew that attachment is sorrow and we have to sorrow. So you create a lot of spiritual love, lot of care for each other, available for each other at the right time. But then, you know, there is no attachment. So I'm still trying to answer your question of what is that root sanskar. And I feel it's within you. I think each one of you think about 1 minute that there was something within you, whether it is seeking for truth or divinity, or there was not only seeking, but you were feeling that in you. And that kinds of inspire you to continue from there onwards. I definitely felt inside a little goddess and a little angel, and I used to love it. And I say, well, that's what I am. And of course, later on, whatever, on journey, whatever things basically because of this, my inner feelings from within, and then knowing what Baba is saying, and I really thought this is the journey. So I also never ever thought, oh, I wish I could have been in a different way or different path. Never, never. Because I thought that's the best choice I made for this is what I am, and I got the path where I can, reach to my destination.
So my final question would be, it's a topic that we can really develop for a whole hour, I'm sure, but what do you think can help us, for those of us who we had recognition? I think we saw the benefit of limited, unlimited. We understand attachment brings sorrow. So we understand Gyan. Do you think we are lacking deeper recognition? And that's why we cannot do as well as you did maybe, or that Brahma Baba did, which means not being able to completely surrender, or, like in a way, why we still have attraction to limited things. If I hear, just before coming into this call, my sister called me from the emergency and she was hit by a car. And I had thoughts. I was concerned with what will happen to her. And so I'm still trying to find, if we want to make a big leap, if we want to move forward and finally reach a stage where there's a much deeper sanskar of surrender, detachment, dislike for the old world, not being into I and mine, what are we lacking that we're not able to die completely from this old world and will everything we have to Baba?
Baba also used to love to go to beaches. He used to take his also. I think that as you're talking about your sister and concern, will do or Brahma. Let's see how I can help. And first immediate help you can do is send good wishes and pure feelings, right? So instantly, so it's not concern is not there, anything you hear, but how you can give power, how you can help the soul. If that thought comes, then there won't be sorrow, but rather you will start doing your seva of giving strength at that time, at this time to yourself. So what is I still feel that internally each one of you recognize yourself. You are just more into the sanskars, seeing your sanskar or nature. There is recognition of Baba. Have the recognition and what makes you really happy? What really makes you content when you see within you that pure consciousness and divine feelings and so more staying touch in that, I think will emerge what we call as our root sanskar or eternal sanskars.
Thank you, Mohini Didi. I wish I could ask you many more questions, but would like to hear now from Sister Gayatri to take us into the process. And really appreciate that we have this whole month to explore these sanskaras together. So I'm willing to be a, how to call it, not a guinea pig, but an experiment. You can do an experiment on me for the whole month. And if I progress a lot this month, I'm sure everyone will make big jump also. So I'm willing to sacrifice myself so you can experiment on me and see if we can change my sanskars so they can become like Brahma Baba's sanskars and your sanskars by the end of the month. Gayatri Ben?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry to hear about your sister. I hope it wasn't anything serious, and I hope she will feel better and do going on. Now, that was very interesting in willpower. And but if we were to look at one of the things about willpower was that Baba renounced his defects and weaknesses. Something I found extremely, it was very interesting for me as I was looking at this sanskara. And I think that willpower is a sanskara that emerges out of. So if the Baba's whole life before he Shiv Baba came into his body was a seeker of truth, and so much of his internal intimate conversations with himself, as you would see up until the 18th of this month and even beyond, are all to do with him. What was most important for him was this root sanskara of truth, which of course got ignited from Shiv Baba, only ignite that sanskara of truth within a soul. And that's why we call sitting at the roots of the kalpa tree. So if we're sitting at the roots of the kalpa tree, what are those roots and sanskaras that the seed is igniting inside of us to be aware of? So these quotations that we'll be working on for the homework, actually interesting to take up within the context of this root, what we're calling now a root sanskara, or connected to a root sanskara, and how Brahma Baba thought and related to willpower in relation to his intimate conversation with himself. Now, Brahma Baba just didn't take a word willpower and then decided he would go and ask someone to figure it out for him. Remember, he was a pioneer. He had no one else to turn to figure anything. So what he had to do was he had to take it within the silence of his own soul, and he had to himself about it. He had to talk, of course, as well to God about it, so it could make some kind of a sense and meaning to him within the context of his own life. So in a way, he was about himself by being in these intimate conversations. So this quotation was taken from a set of writings that Baba, he was talking to himself. And so he's saying in this that we want you to work with until tomorrow evening is, oh mind. He began talking to his mind and he said, oh mind. And now listen to the way he's talking. You, he's referring to his mind, yourself to the Satguru. And then the I and Mine came back in which he's saying, from that day, the mind surrendered to the Satguru. I promised that whatever I had considered as my own has turned to belonging to God. So in this quote, which is very interesting for us to reflect on, it's got both the aspects that Sister Mohini was talking about. When he surrendered, so he was already in the you. But then, because he hadn't surrendered totally, he had promised. So he's reminding himself that I promised that whatever I had considered as my own has now turned to belonging to God. It immediately become that trustee. He was talking to himself about it. And I think this is where many of us fall short, in which we forget to have this conversation with ourselves and we go straight into wanting to be that trustee without convincing something I really want to do. And within that, I have to also renounce my defects and my weaknesses, along with my body, mind, and wealth. I also have to look at not having any desires in relation to that which I'm going to be giving to Baba. So therefore, this thing has turned to belonging to God. So it's a movement. This turning is a movement that has to take place. So I would say to you that look at it very carefully in relation to what Sister Mohini has talked about willpower. The will, you're willing something over to God. One is God's, but here I am willing too, my power to will some. And so willpower in this context may be something that you want to look at. And so connecting to the roots and skara of truth. How could I will something? What gives thing over? And that power could be truth. So what we will do, could I have the next slide, please? No, just let me read the quote before I change the slide. Could I go back? Could you go back to the first slide? Yes, let us just read. This is what we're going to be working with. Uncovering the secret to willpower by working with this sentence or a couple of sentences for 108 times. O mind, you surrendered yourself to the Satguru. From that day, I promised that whatever I had considered as my own has turned to belonging to God. So this is the quote we will work with. And now what will we do? Could you change the slide? So we have these three options now that we will work with. And I'm saying to you, choose one, because you might become overwhelmed. My suggestion to you is, so option one, I will take that sentence, willpower as a sanskara coming from a deeper sanskara, a root sanskara, and a contemplation that will be a mental inner contemplation. So I will contemplate, if possible, for 108 times in my traffic controls. I will contemplate on the quote in a creative way. I can do it in whatever way I want, but make it creative and make it engaging. So I will contemplate and maybe use a meditation commentary as I'm contemplating, so that I'm just not repeat the purpose of it, but I want to go into a deeper mental, I want to take the mind into a deeper state in the experience quotation. And I want it to be connected to my willpower. Looking at Brahma Baba's life as the mirror reflecting that willpower. Option 2, I may decide to do some reflective writing. I started this actually because I wanted to see what that will do, because I've never written something, even though I was told it's quite an interesting exercise. So the reflective writing is reflect on the quote by writing it down 108 times daily in your notebook or your journal or on your device, your iPhone, your iPad, or your computer. But again, you're not rushing with your writing. You're just taking your time. It's a reflective writing. What are these words saying to me? What is this I and mine? This promise I've made. What is this turning it around and making it belong to God? You know, so you're writing it. I gave everything to the Satguru, and then I'm getting rid of the I and mine. And then option 3, which is journaling, at the end of the day or whenever you so feel that you want to journal, take out your journal. And again, you're writing. This quote is inspiring you to write. So you may want to begin with that quote as your entry point into your journal. But I think there's also a question that Sister Me has put to us, or maybe a challenge, that in your writing, notice how many times you've used the words I and my in your writing. And just as how Baba used the words you, he addressed the mind, you surrendered. You may want to change that I and mine, which, okay, there's some noise out here, into a language that would take away the I and mine and keep it more to soul consciousness, and how that is connected to your willpower. That increases a willpower, and how that willpower becomes a sanskara within, because Shakti is a sanskara of the soul. So willpower obviously is also that. So this is the assignment for tomorrow, and it's really taking us, I think, into the deeper track of our efforts, and I hope you will treat it as such. So if there are any questions, you could put it in the chat or send it to me, and I'll try to help you. But the guidelines will also help you with it, because we are saying keep it simple, keep it easy, and keep it engaging. So remember, Raazyukt is that you're uncovering secrets, the secret to spiritual success, but you have to see it. So this is why this acronym C is very important. So it's simple, it's easy, and it's engaging. And that's the only way you'll see it. You'll see the secrets in this effort. Okay, Om Shanti.
न ये चांद हो
होगा न तारे रहेंगे मगर हम हमेशा तुम्हारे रहेंगे न ये चांद होगा न तारे रहेंगे मगर हम हमेशा तुम्हारे रहेंगे न ये चांद होगा.
Om Shanti, welcome to Awake the Journey. So today is Thursday. I know we are almost done with the time. We are not going to take much time now, only a few minutes, about 5 minutes now. So first of all, before we start our Ancestors Day, the beauty of Brahmin life, I would like to just announce that as we are starting our culture program and party at 9, and that will be only on Zoom. There won't be anything in YouTube or live stream. So if you are listening through live stream or YouTube, please make a note. If you would like to join Avyakti Parivar for the culture program and for the party, please come to the Zoom. Please join through the Zoom. Then only will be possible. And about the beauty of Brahmin life, I would like to share one video. I know it's very small video, and many Brahmins actually sometimes they are not aware of that this little thing, how to open that, and it's for bhog, it's a fruit. So many of you might know, but many of you might not know. So just want to introduce that. Let's see. Om Shanti to Bola Vyakti Parivar. Today we would like to show you how do we cut the anar, pomegranate, for Baba's bhog. Sometimes we all know that we know how to cut this, right? Just put your knife and cut in 4, right? But no, that's not the way. So now let's see how we do. So first of all, you wash properly, dry properly, and then go on the top like this. So we will cut in a way that each anardana is one, each seed it stays whole. So you cut in the top and then cut in the bottom. Now you make a very small cut. Don't go too deep inside, just and little near. So now you can see how it opens like a flower, and it's very easy now to take out each seed from here. Slowly you can take out the seeds. And you can see each seed is taken out and it's whole. And also, we didn't make any mess around. Thank you. I hope this will be useful, because when I came to Mohini Didi, I didn't know that how to cut pomegranate and how to take out each seed without taking out the liquid from that and cut. It's very good way of doing it, and you won't get your clothes mess up. Anyway, but we have one more thing for you all, because we are entering into the January. The preparation for our 18th of January. Many of you might have Baba's room in your home, or you have a little space in the corner for Baba. So it's time for us to make more nicer Baba's room or that space where we sit with Baba and create more and more vibrations there. So want to have a glimpse of that how our Baba's room should be.
In the coming month of Tapasya, our aim is to make as much effort as possible to remain in silence. And the most sacred place at the center or our Lokik homes is our beloved Baba's room. This is the place where we go to experience the stage of sweet silence and have a meeting with Bab Dada during Amrit Vela. This is why it is important that we keep our Baba's room clean, tidy, well organized, and filled with powerful vibration. Featuring Baba's room at the Harmony House, we have beautiful trance light, proper seating arrangement, and of course, very powerful vibrations. So let's go on a tour of different Baba's room and take a look at different arrangements and experience the vibrations at each room.
Okay, so we prepare our Baba's room with so much vibrations and tapasya, and be ready for 18th of January. Okay, and somebody's asking the question that if they can do every day different option. Tomorrow, Sister Gayatri will answer your question, and then other questions also she will answer tomorrow. Thank you, and we'll come back soon after dinner. Okay, now let's have a moment of silence.
We starting new journey now. I am sure it will be very, very, very good because it's very simple. I have to go beyond I and mine and see the benefit of that. And I'm sure we will see Baba appearing in our life more and more. So everyone, we see you in a little while and we will continue our program. How many of you have eaten dinner? Many have to eat yet, right? So then have quick dinner and come back soon. And good night for now. Om Shanti. करने दो उन बच्चियों को बाकी तो
Om Shanti Avakti Parivar. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Didi. Good night. Always happy New Year. Year and the new home. Om Shanti Mohini Didi. Om Shanti Avakti Parivar. Good night. Stay with Baba. Happy New Year.
वो छोटी सी बैठी है.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Mohini Didi. Thank you, Vyakti Parivar. Good night. Happy New Year. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Vyakti Parivar. Happy New Year. Sleep with Baba. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Ji. Om Shanti Baba. Om Shanti Vyakti Parivar. Feliz año.
चलो. Okay, good night everyone.
Om Shanti
Om Shanti
Mohini.
Didi.
Shanti Mohini.
Thank you for
Shanti. Good night.